Alright, yep. I'm doing some more video responsing type things. So this is probably going to be about 655 parts. This has been, it's like a, I don't know, some sort of like quadruple fucker nutter sandwich here. Um, apparently there's a lot of people who really do think that this value equation thing is all just personal dogma, and that there's none of it means anything. So, I mean, part of me just says, well, then why are you making videos? Why are you even talking to anybody if you don't think you have anything to justify your philosophy but your personal dogma? I mean, if I thought I was just talking about my personal dogma, that there was no truth implication to any of this conversation, yeah, why would I be bothered? Why would I waste my fucking time with this nonsense? Because I need to impose my dogma on you? I mean, that would be just ludicrous. I mean, it'd be insipid. It'd be just such a waste of fucking time. So anyway, alright, so this apropos of snow is apparently one of these people who see some sort of problem with the idea that there's such a thing as the truth in the universe. So, play his video. Yeah, I could have skipped this part, I concede.
Hey Gary.
Hey, how you doing?
I didn't watch this video of modern mystics, but it sounds like what he's getting at is a kind of objectivity separate from not only human understanding, but organic understanding in general.
Yeah, well, this organic understanding isn't even a concept, is it? I mean, organic is, dirt, microbes. They don't understand anything. There's one organic instrument that's capable of understanding as we know it, is really good at it, okay, is best at it. And that's called the human brain, okay? We don't know of any other intelligence that's better than a human brain at discerning the unraveling, discovering, revealing, experimenting to find out what the relationships are between things, discovery, whatever word you want to use. But yeah, there's one instrument that can do that, and it's a human brain, okay? It can do this logical thing, and we've seen it perform it. We've seen it come from being some ignorant monkey in the bush, to landing on the moon. We saw it do it, and the only way it could do that is because this brain thing was capable of purifying information, making it right, okay, accurately describing things. So yeah, that's organic, all right? There's no other organic. There's just a brain.
And this is where I kind of see a double standard in some of your videos, is that you talk so much about things being logical, and then, or you'll talk about something like, oh, listen to how stupid it sounds for him to think that, there's no difference between a good feeling and a bad feeling. That isn't right. That isn't logical. And when it's kind of as if you use that intuitive moral sense that you have.
There, what? Where have I talked about an intuitive sense? I mean, it's not about intuitive. It's about we all do the experiment, all right? We all conduct the experiment. We have consciousness and we can experiment with it. I mean, I could stick a knife in my head and wiggle it around and say, wow, that was really uncomfortable and unpleasant. Or I can inject myself with chemotherapy and say, holy shit, that's really sucks. And, then I might be able to get a blowjob. It's not likely, but, it might happen. And I might go, oh man, that was fantastic. Yeah, I can do the fucking experiment. All right, it's not intuitive. I don't pull it out of a dogma. I don't reach down inside of my dogma body and pull it out of my dogma knee joint. It's not a dogma. It's rational, logical, put together based on observation and experimentation. This isn't just out of nowhere. You just say, oh, feelings are feely. No, that's not how it fucking works. Ugh.
Synonymously with something like logic, which I think the kind of understanding he's talking about is separate from any kind of being that could experience these two paradigms you talk so much about.
Oh, look, it's you can't even throw the word paradigm in here. Look, the point is, you either think there is a observable, quantifiable, definable, describable difference between a sentient organism experiencing pleasure and one experiencing horrific discomfort, or you don't. You either concede that reality exists or you don't. So if you're going to say it doesn't exist, I don't know what you exist for. I don't know even why I don't know how your brain doesn't just fucking explode. Because I don't see how there's any possibility of existing if you don't understand that concept. If you can't appreciate, let me put it that way, if you can't find appreciation for the power of that reality. Yeah. I mean, to deny your own sensations, to deny your own observation of how your own sense organs work is just, well, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just insane.
Suffering and its opposite. Because those things are very, I'm not going to say anthropocentric experiences, but organocentric.
Oh, whatever. Like I said, whatever we blame the cause, okay, whatever we say causes the capacity to sense, it doesn't matter what the cause is. We're talking about what it is. What is the phenomenon itself of sensation? And to say that some non-sentient consciousness couldn't be informed enough to appreciate its existence is stupid, I think. Well, to say it's impossible, it's going to be difficult, but it would not be impossible. But yeah, I mean, part of the whole point is you really can't have intelligence anyway. There'd be no point in intelligence existing without mission. And mission is created by having something good and bad to direct. There has to be a direction. There has to be some sort of obligating mechanism that there has to be a good and a bad. There has to be a right and a wrong. There has to be something for intelligence to actually do. And that's what intelligence does. Intelligence is a problem solver. You don't have a problem if you don't have sensation. You really don't. What is your problem if you don't have sensation? What possibly could go wrong in the universe if sensation wasn't implicated? Describe to me a catastrophe of any kind. Even a minute, minuscule catastrophe that would be possible if nothing could feel.
Because you talk about it in the context of evolution, and in that context, they are really important, concepts, tools for understanding experiences of life more generally.
Experiences of life more generally, evolution. Look, let's understand again. Our brain evolved as a tool as a scheming device merely. Okay, built on top of a sentient organism that had a individual welfare to protect. So it became a selfish organism that was trying to create positive sensation rather than negative. We all have a definition of that. There's this idea of addiction and repulsion, attraction and repulsion exist in all these organisms. So no matter what kind of insane person you are, you have to know what the two words mean. You have some reference for the distinction between something repulsive and something addictive or attractive. And that's all it is. So let's not pretend that the organic organism has something to do with philosophy. It doesn't. It has to do with a consuming machine, okay, taking advantage of an environment and having tools that enable it to take advantage of the environment.
But when he talks about determinism, you're no longer in the realm of biology. You're closer to something along the lines of physics.
Well, I think I know that. I think you should appreciate that I know that. I've done lots of videos on the physics. Damn it.
Which is separate from any of these subjective feelings
Yeah, right. So the physics, because if you reduce the physics enough, you can eliminate gravity and magnetism and everything. You can make everything invisible. Okay? That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You can just make it invisible to your perception because you've so speculated. You've come in so close. You've gone in so close that you've lost who I'm talking to. All right? Yeah, you could do that. I can make you disappear through that kind of trick of illusion. But the fact is, your arrangement exists. Okay, you don't disappear because I make you disappear through some change of perspective. All right, now universal perspective is not going to, even it turns everything into a quark or a quantum. It doesn't matter. Okay, the reality of what the swirls represent and what they're doing is still going to exist. Magnetism and gravity are still going to exist, and so is sentience.
And I think the approach he's taking, or the perspective he's coming from, isn't really a perspective that humans can have at all. And
well, like I say, it's a perspective that negates through a trick. Okay, it's a trick of illusion. It's a trick of perspective. It isn't a real destruction of the reality. He didn't deconstruct reality or history or values or the real construct of our existence. He's just pretending there's no Nick. He's pretending there's no Gary. There's no apropos of snow. There's no Shakespeare. There's no road. There's no street light. There's no anything. He's pretending not to see anymore. He's just closing his fucking eyes. This isn't a grand philosophical enlightenment. It's a cheap parlor trick. It's a flea fucking circus. It's crap.
kind of understanding things in the most neutral way possible. Matter and motion. Matter creates.
Yeah, well, even you kind of stepped on your own words right there, okay? Because in matter, in energy, there's no neutrality. There's positive and negative charged particles. There's attraction and repulsion all over the place in physics. We don't know all the dynamics of that, but the truth is, it's not some sort of. There's no neutral perspective, and there's no obligation when you deconstruct our existence, again, to deny the existence of sentience, to deny the obvious experimental fact of your own existence, which you've gleaned from your own personal experience, that there is a substantial distinction between this thing called a positive sensation and that thing called a fucking negative sensation. There's no reason to eliminate that discovery from your conscious understanding and call it nothing, and to say it doesn't exist as a piece of knowledge or wisdom. I mean, that's just... yeah, sorry, it doesn't make any sense. So anyway, that's volume 1, I think. I have to go cook my dinner and such. So we'll be back for volume 15, 20, 453.